Yeah, no, to be honest, securities have given a bad image of themselves because, I mean, we've all seen it, the security guards,
Crash out.
exactly, and that's just not security to me. Security is just, you're able to connect with somebody, you're able to genuinely meet someone at a level. You're not going from call to call, you're not doing stuff like that. Like, you're able to take the time and interact with someone and see and genuinely try and make their day better, genuinely try and help them with their situation and get them resources that they need, or they sometimes they don't even realize they need. My name is Kevin, and I've been with Echelon for going on 2 years now. Just got transferred to days from doing 2 years nights.
So what brought you into security versus going into law enforcement?
So with security, I feel like you're able to be a little bit more personable with people instead of kind of going from call to call like law enforcement is, and law enforcement being more after the fact versus kind of being able to get there when it's going on, kind of a thing, or being on site. I like being personable with people. I like being able to actually interact with people and get to know them, get to know their story, and actually be able to make a difference for them versus just seeing them as a number or another statistic on the streets. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I know, I was looking for you too yesterday. Right. I had the bag that I told you I had. It was some clothing. I'll get it back for you. But if you hang out in Old Town today, I'll find you.
What's one of the big differences that you see between working day shift versus night shift?
I feel like there's more groups during the day. I feel like there's more, congregation of the houseless population and stuff like that. I feel like they're a little bit more easier to deal with because usually at night, the elements are coming in harder, like the cold, the rain, and stuff like that. So in the daytime, people are awake, and you're able to more talk to them versus like interrupting their sleep or disturbing them from them trying to get rest from walking all day, or being moved from building to building all day the way they normally are.
Do you feel they're more combative at night?
Yes, I do feel like they're more combative at night just because a lot of them have been they're trying to get rest. And so when you're waking them up after a long day of them being moved around from property to property, they're definitely more agitated with you than at night, especially seeing that a lot of businesses and establishments close at night. A lot of their arguments are, well, there's nobody that I'm bugging here, but it's like there's still things that can't happen at dark just because there's no people around and stuff like that. So, hello. I'm gonna move this foil from your face. Hey, hi. Hey, no, sorry to bug you. My name is Kevin. I was just doing a welfare check on you, making sure you're okay. You doing all right?
One of the things that I think people don't understand, if they're watching these videos from other places, other states, when we talk about something like, you said the houseless, they don't want to be woken up, you're interrupting their sleep, you're disturbing their peace at that moment, they've been moved around all day. Most people, they think to themselves like, well, that shouldn't matter, like they have no right to be there, it's private property, they're homeless. Like, how do you, as a security guard, kind of reconcile that issue? Like, it is true that, like, it's private property. We're contracted to, patrol that property if somebody's on that property, to move them. But at the same time, like, this is an entire community of people. They said that the homeless population grew by 61%. And at the last number, I think we were talking about 4,000 documented. This is just documented homeless people, and that's before the number was said to have increased by 61%. So to the people that don't live here and don't operate in this kind of system, like, what do you say to people who go, well, they don't have the right to be there and your job is to move them? Why do you care that you're interrupting their sleep?
Well, first and foremost, they're humans. Regardless of what their life decisions have put them or whatnot, they're humans. And they don't deserve to be treated any less because they're houseless or because they're drug addicted. I feel like if anything, they need a little bit more patience. Again, to an extent, we are contracted to provide security for the property. But that doesn't mean that I have to be completely like rude or just careless about it. I can not sit down with them, but I can take the time with them to try and, you know, find them resources, find them a better place, maybe a safer, more lit up area than the area that they're selecting. My biggest thing at the end of the day is, yeah, I am contracted to provide security for the buildings, but at the end of the day, they're humans, and they don't deserve like any less respect than a regular person that just decides to stand up against the building and be on the phone or something like that. Later tonight, it'll be in the evening time that I get off. But I'll find you the next few hours. Yeah, just hang out in this area. Just try not to be on the properties and stuff like that. But I'll find you.
Okay.
I'll get you some stuff. Okay.
I'm trying to get a job at that newsstand, selling newspaper.
And you know, a lot of people fail to realize, like, how you interact with somebody plays a huge role into how they respond.
Huge.
So it's like, yeah, we're contracted on that property, but the main purpose of our being there is to protect the property and protect the interests of the property. If we treat somebody wrong, or if we disrespect somebody, especially someone that has nowhere else to go and nothing to lose,
yep,
they can vandalize that building. They can come back and do harm to the business owners or the people that work there. So, like, I think a lot of people don't take into account the repercussions of how you interact with people.
100%. You're definitely going to catch a lot more flies with honey than, you know, the other way. Everyone's a human being. Everyone deserves respect. There is no reason why you being houseless or drug addicted, I have to treat you any different than any other human being, in my opinion. You're just a human being like I am. I'm not better than you. If anything, a lot of people, I've heard the saying before, where you're just one decision from being in a situation like that. One bad decision, just one bad decision, and you're kind of there too. So I just, at the end of the day, I treat everybody with the respect that they deserve, regardless of their situation, and yeah. You too.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about private security?
I think the biggest misconception of security is that I think the biggest misconception of security is that a lot of people consider us just like a placeholder. It's like it's like we're just I don't know how to explain it. People don't see the real use in security, in my opinion, until it's truly needed. I know that a lot of security, especially in downtown Portland, is a lot of observe and report and stuff like that. But I just think that if, that's a tough question.
You're doing great. I mean, it is a tough question. And I think the fact that it's a hard to answer question is a good thing. Like, just speak from your heart.
Yeah, no, to be honest, security have given a bad image of themselves, because, I mean, we've all seen it, the security guards, the
crash out.
Exactly. And that's just not security to me. Security is just, you're able to connect with somebody. You're able to genuinely meet someone at a level. You're not going from call to call. You're not doing stuff like that. Like, you're able to take the time and interact with someone and genuinely try and make their day better. Genuinely try and help them with their situation. And get them resources that they need, or that sometimes they don't even realize they need.
I always try to compare it to being a nurse. It's like the doctor has a very important job, and they have a job that cannot be replicated by someone else, and that's law enforcement. But that nurse is right there at that moment that something happens. That nurse is there in the triage. That nurse is the one that's creating that rapport with that patient and helping that patient be comfortable. To me, that's what we do in security. It's so similar.
100%. That's actually a great way. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, we're that middleman. We're building the rapport, building the relationship, kind of trying to do it in the essence, trying to, get to the point where you don't even need law enforcement. You're able to kind of handle it. You have that rapport, that relationship with that person, and you're able to assist them, and they'll, a lot of them just want to be heard. That's the biggest thing. They just want to be heard and be treated as human.
And so many people are anti-law enforcement. They're, stand by the statement that the justice system is oppressive and systemically racist. But at the same time, those people have an issue with private security. And my thought's always been, listen, if we can triage a situation and get someone to, make a better choice or a better decision before we have to call law enforcement, because that's only going to put them in the system. So in a way, private security is helping to alleviate a lot of those problems that people are advocating for or against. And at the same time, they don't realize that private security is a great buffer for that.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of the time, it's just a simple conversation with security. It's like, hey, whatever. If you're engaging in something you're not supposed to, usually it's a simple conversation, unless it extends to like a felony or something like that. But usually it's just a simple, hey man, not the time and place kind of a thing. And a lot of them understand. A lot of them don't want to go to jail.
Absolutely.
They don't want the interaction with law enforcement, and so a lot of the time they'll hear you out and then move it along. And